Hey everybody, welcome to Falcon Plays Kingdom. This is a game that I'm really excited to be bringing to the channel. It's a very difficult game. It's very rewarding in the sense where it's kind of like Dark Souls, where nothing is kind of fleshed out for you. It's kind of more of a trial and error type of game. The game does nothing to explain to you beyond a little small tutorial at the start what you should be kind of doing or aiming for. It's kind of left to your own volition. There's no hand-holding involved, which I know could be a turn-off to some people at times, but at least for me, I'm in the variety that kind of likes that whole discovery method, and I'm a bit upset when this game comes out because I have a feeling that people are going to start, doing the whole data mining and figure out the secrets behind it. But right now, I don't know a thing about it other than what I've already played, and I think I have an understanding of it, but I know there's a lot more hidden still in the game that I have not figured out in my own right. Initially, you get a chance to over here pick a king. I haven't talked much about the game just yet, at least what it's about. I will do that soon. I'm going to swap over here. You can still do a queen as well if you want. I'm going to go with the king, I suppose. That's quite alright. You can continue pressing buttons over here to kind of get a different skin layout. That seems relatively fine for the purpose of this video anyway. Alrighty, a solitary king carries the crown to a new land. I'm not going to skip this because I don't necessarily want to skip the minimal tutorial and story that the game actually gives you right here. So right now we have to move forward here a tad. So it's going to be actually scaring these deer off, which is actually really important. Remember that little mechanic right there, which is something that the game obviously does not explain to you, but you can make this work to your advantage. As you can see, if you kind of keep behind them a little bit, you can actually corral them to a certain area. However, if you get too close, then they will turn around and basically book it the other way. But remember that because it's really going to be important down the line. It's something that the game, again, does not explain to you. And once you start getting further into the game and trying to figure out how do I just, survive? How do I get more coin? You start learning new abilities and new little different skills here. So right now we're going to start doing this by doing a bonfire, which is, very Dark Souls in a sense, right? We also have to recruit some of these people by giving them some coin. How this works out is you actually give them coin to recruit them, and then you actually have to go over there and build a weapon for them to actually work with. Hunters are going to be really important early on because they will actually take care of the hunting. And with every single hunt that they do, you actually get more coin to, either expand your defenses or to recruit more people. As you saw, he actually landed a shot on that deer. And he booked it. Again, really important with the whole corral feature that I talked about here. Now, our tutorial is saying that we need to build a hammer for this guy. He's going to be kind of like our builder around the base, getting up the barricades and things of that nature. And the other thing I was going to do is actually to build a wall, which we will right here. So he's going to build this wall, and then the game's going to be, well, it's going to say watch right now. After this, the game will be build, expand, and survive or something, and then that's it. It's basically up to you how you're going to work this out, so check this out. Build, expand, defend, and then that's it. That's the last bit of information you will learn about this game through the game itself, and then you kind of have to learn everything on your own right over here. So, our dude is actually coming all the way over here, which is great. Do you have any more extra money for me? You do. Perfect. Yeah, keep hunting the rabbits for now. Don't even worry about the deer. I will deal with the deer later on. I'm going to come over here and recruit 1, 2. Now, obviously, recruitment works in a two-pronged effect. Number 1, you have more people for your crew, which is actually really ideal. I'm going to come over here, and because I recruited 2 more people, I'm going to get more hunters. I think I have enough for 2 more bows, which is really good. Early on, if you want to survive a bit further, you definitely want to have a bunch of hunters because then they will go out in the land and actually hunt and get you some money. Blacksmiths, you can kind of roll with only 1 for a while, but soon after, because of how far you expand and how deep your progress goes, you'll definitely need more to actually cover more ground. So right now, what I could do is, let's see, we don't have a wall on this side, huh? That could be kind of problematic for us. We have enough for even another bowman if we wanted to. I'm going to set up a wall right here, and even another one right here. So my blacksmith should come over here, or my builder, I suppose I should probably call him. I guess the blacksmith kind of works more on weapons, right? Builders are kind of just whatever needs to be done. So here's a few more rabbits. This guy hopefully should take care of them. Now, I built the little wall right here, this little barricade. Obviously, this is not going to hold. I haven't really talked about what the defense is all about, right? What are you defending against? Well, I don't necessarily want to spoil that surprise right here. But this requires, if I want to upgrade this beyond this level, it requires 3 coins afterward. So that's something we should definitely look into soon. I think for the first night, you should be fine with only having that one. But as you progress forward and forward, you are going to definitely want to reinforce all of these locations over here. There you go. This is the reason why I want to get a bunch of hunters early on. I'm going to do a little bit of a risky move and actually move in here. Don't worry, dear. I'm not coming after you just yet. Now, as you're noticing right now, it's getting a bit darker. That's not only because the game is, going into nighttime. Let me recruit these people here. That's not only because the game is going into actual nighttime, but it's because you're in the woods. Whenever you start expanding outward and start cutting down trees, it's going to get lighter and lighter the further you go out, assuming it's daytime. But if it's nighttime, it'll obviously be dark. So this actually signifies to you, hey, if you want to expand your land. You cannot expand your land where, oh, good God almighty, that's one of the dudes. Help me. Okay. Over the barricade. There you go, we got him. So what happened right there is that, you know what, we probably lost the guys. Yeah, we lost the guys that I recruited. Alrighty, that's one of the creepy crawlies that's going to attack you at nighttime. You're probably thinking, well, that wasn't too bad. Well, it wasn't too bad right now, but it's going to be bad. Oh, this guy's really good to have early on. This guy over here, if you buy his services, he'll come to town and basically throw up a bunch of, I guess, pre-made bows, hammers, and other weapons that you could actually turn your people into different classes after you recruit them. So, essentially, instead of you building them yourself, he will take care of that for you. He requires 4 gold. You know what? That could be pretty helpful. After every single day, a chest will appear and give you money based on how you're doing in the progress. I'm not sure what dictates that. I'm not sure if it's the size of your kingdom itself, how many people you have, maybe a combination of everything. I'm not really too sure. Again, the game doesn't really explain much to you without that. But I'm going to recruit the services of this guy here really quickly if I could just find him again. I'm going to probably hire you pretty soon as well, but just give me a second here. Alright, sir, no, I don't need you going that way. I need you coming over here to the base. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. So if he makes it back to the base, he should be putting up a bunch of items for these people to just grab and turn into different classes. What he actually gives you will be a little bit randomized, however, so the unfortunate thing is you could probably have more builders than hunters, and early on you just want a bunch of hunters. Now, let's explain the monsters that attack me here a bit. They will attack anybody. So, you know how you normally recruit the person first, and then they walk over to your base, and then they grab an item and turn to a certain class? By the way, the atmosphere, how it changes when you actually come into your land, so amazing. When they attack people, they will do 2 things. Number 1, if they're already a certain class, they will have your member drop that weapon, they will grab the weapon and flee. You still have the services of your person still, but obviously you have to make a weapon for them again. That's where the income really comes into play. If they are just a recruited class and don't have a class to themselves just yet, or if they're just recruited and they don't have a class to themselves just yet, they will drop coin, they will be unrecruited, and then you have to recruit them again and give them a weapon again. If you personally don't have any money and they attack you, you drop your crown. You drop your crown, they grab your crown, game over, you have to start anew for a fact. So that's how that kind of works out here a little bit. I'm still waiting for a dude with a burrow to come over here to hopefully equip us. It needs to happen pretty soon because I'm losing a lot of time here. I don't have too much money to actually expand forward anyway as well. So the guy that came over here and attacked us, it was just a single unit. After a while, the further you get into the game, they'll become bigger. The enemies will be different. If you get really far, and I hope I get to really far in this run over here, we will see some of, quite possibly, the scariest things I've seen in games. Just because, even though this isn't technically a quote-unquote scary game, it becomes really, really dark. Later on, I'm going to actually see if I could corral some of these deer over to that hunter. I don't think it's going to work out because my hunter is still relatively... It's only 1. These deer require a bunch of hits, but here's the whole corral feature that I'm trying to do. Oh, hey, he actually got another one. No. Keep attacking him. I'm going to come over here and hopefully I could cut this deer off and have him rush back to the hunter. Alright, hunter. It's up to you, man. Attack him. Attack him! No! Sometimes they attack, sometimes they don't. I think it might have to do with if they have money on them. No. At nighttime, it does seem like they stop hunting and they just focus on defenses. That could be the case right here. Let me set up a barricade right here. Builderman, turn around. And I want to cut down some of these trees as well since the builder is here, so we could actually have my hunters move out about and actually have a bigger area to hunt. My only concern right now is that I don't think we have enough... Ooh, nice. We might be able to do this. Hold up. Let's drop some coinage over here to cut down these trees. Oh, no, it's not going to work out. I'm going to lose these guys, too. Man. Hunters, get over here. All right, we're still fine. They grabbed their weapon again because the monsters are more focused on bringing down our defenses, which is good. All right, nice. We actually worked this one out pretty well. So, whenever they drop their weapon and they turn back into just a recruited class, they actually have a chance to pick up their weapon again and everything will be fine. If they get hit from that point on, though, they'll lose the coin and then they'll be unrecruited and then they can't do much. I'm going to set up another wall right here. We have a few people waiting around as well on the base. So let me go ahead and reinforce this one here. We have a workman right here, perfect. And we have a few more coin. We have an extra hammer here. This is because we had our burrow dude, which I completely forgot about. But he came over here and he dropped off weapons. So anybody that recruited will come over here and just grab that hammer and become a builder. I do want a few more hunters, so let me drop one for a bow here. And let's see, we have a bunch of We have a bunch of builders. So the guy dropped off nothing but hammers, it does seem, which is unfortunate. Hey, you? I'm going to recruit you and your friend over here. Go back over there and grab some of the items. Preferably the bows could be more ideal. Let me bring down this tree as well so we can expand a bit more. And we might... Here comes the builder. He's going to cut down that tree. I'm going to go ahead and just drop this over here. So we have those two guys that are just recruited turn into hunters, so we have more people. Yeah, we have way too many builders. I'm not too crazy about this. Early on, you definitely want a bunch of hunters to not only get coin, but also to defend yourself early on. The amount of workers that we have, I don't even have this until like day 10. Like usually I keep it around like 3 or something. So I'm not too crazy about what's happened over here. Okay. So for now, what I'm thinking we can do is we can reinforce this as well. And we have the coinage for it, so I think I will. The other thing is if we roll towards this side, if I could find myself another tent area, I could just recruit a few more people. And have them ready to be hunters as well. So right now we're in day 2. That chest over there that popped up, I think I talked about that already, but in case I missed it and I'm trying to like focus a bit on the game because it's relatively difficult. I'll be, oh nice, we found a chest! Never mind, I will take this over the tent as well. On occasion you will find this if you explore a little bit. However, you get too far into your exploration, you could run into those creepy crawlies because they have like these areas that they kind of spawn from. I'm gonna move over here. That's right there. Okay, we want to leave. That you saw right there, that's where those monsters spawn from. I'm not entirely sure if the goal... I mean, other than just building and expanding, there's an ultimate goal to the game. The developer is really vague about what that is. Obviously, the game doesn't explain much to you. So I'm excited to see what it is, like what's the secret, because I can't figure it out myself. So I'm actually waiting for other people to get their hands on the game when it actually releases, and then, like, you know, hopefully the secrets will come out. I would hope that the secrets would come out through natural means, but I have a feeling that people will probably data mine the game or something, and, you know, it'll kind of steal a little bit away from the I guess the secrets of the game, the mystery of the game behind it, right? But right now, let's see, we could probably do this. We have a bunch of builders, so this will be relatively beneficial. I have a feeling that these guys are not going to make it into our base without getting attacked. I'm going to come over here and just take a quick little peek. Oh, they're still over here roaming about, which is fine. Alright guys, you guys have to speed it up here a little bit though. I mean, I don't think we're going to make it. So, in order to give these guys safer passage, you would want to expand further. Not only for hunting, as I mentioned before, but if you expand your base out where my hunters will actually patrol this area over here, you would have to cut down these trees, set up a few barricades, and then they'll have a wider area to kind of protect against. Meaning that these guys won't have such a perilous path to walk on their own right over here. So, I'm not sure if you guys will make it. I mean, good luck to you. If you do, great. If you don't, I mean, you're kind of close to our end goal here. Let's see. These rocks, I think I could kind of set up a post up for my hunters here. Now, early on, I would not... I guess at least for my experience so far, I probably would not encourage you to set up the little post for the hunters. It could be useful for attacks, but whenever they post up in a little bit of a patrol area... I guess I'll do this one just to show it off, or no, wait. We'll do this one over here. Just to show it off. One of my hunters should turn around. What this will do is it'll set up a little bit of a post for your hunters to basically stay at all times, and then they will defend from this area. It'll give them a bit of defense from the enemies because they'll be on a higher level, although when the enemies start jumping, and they will, they'll still be attacked. Yeah, these guys got attacked after all. Luckily though, them getting attacked kind of persuade the assault from hitting our wall. So that's the only upside right there. Alrighty. Let's see, can I set up a wall over here too? Yes, let's do that. So now, over here is what I built. This hunter will be here at all times. The only problem that's actually terrible about this early on is that he will not hunt game anymore. So a rabbit or a deer could kind of run by under him and he won't attack it. So you definitely want your guard, or at least your hunters on the floor so they do some hunting and acquire more money over time. I'm going to set up another bigger wall right here. And so far, we're reinforcing this area quite well, but the other side really hasn't had too much attention just yet. So I'm going to find out what's happening over here. I need to give these guys a few bows as well. Nice. Hunting over here happening. Drop this for me. Thank you, my friend. Alrighty. I could also, by the way, increase our base. I don't want to do that just yet because I feel like that triggers stronger waves. I'm not sure if that's right or not. But at least to me, like this little pseudo effect where I'm thinking, well, expanding the base kind of seems to draw more attention to us. I'm going to pick up... Oh, another armor? No! Oh, we have way too many of you guys! Okay. Well, since we have so many of you, let me go ahead and have you barricade this here. And let's see about expanding this side over here. Did you have any coin for me? Oh, you do. Excellent. Now over here, this will be a different type of area. This will be set up a grazing area where we could actually recruit a certain class member to actually graze that area and get you money that way instead of just hunting. But we're not that far just yet. We'll have to get to that point. Since we have so many armors or blacksmiths, whatever you want to call them, I'm going to go ahead and have them start clearing out some of these trees. There's a few more people over here, which is great. You know what? Let me hire you guys and turn you into hunters. Now, if I move over here, what's going to happen over on this side? We have a few deer here. Oh, okay. Let me grab you guys as well. Oh, Burrow dude! Hey, man. Come to the base if you can, hopefully. Bring bows, please. Bring a lot of bows. And we should have one more dude somewhere here. Alrighty, guys. I'm not sure if you'll make it over here to the base in time. I hope so. It's getting a little bit nighttime already, so I'm a bit worried about your chances, but we'll see how this plays out. Let's see. Okay. I mean, we're clearing out over here, which isn't really too bad. The problem is that we have Burrow Man coming over here, which is fine. I just hope he drops some bows for me. Now, by the way, when you cut down trees, you will get that money back, which is pretty cool. So you don't necessarily lose money by cutting down trees. You will get it back after the task is actually done. So we want to expand outwards, and can't get at this one just yet, huh? Alrighty. Yeah, keep working at it, guys. And let's see about... Can I put up a barricade here? Probably not until they bring down these trees. There we go. This tree's down now. And barricade. Perfect. Keep working at it. And as soon as this one's done, we should be able to bring the barricade up here, too. Alrighty. Burrow Man should probably make it after all, which is actually pretty good. Can I set up this barricade here? Nope, not just yet. Alright, guys, you need to speed it up here a little bit. I have a feeling we're going to get attacked from this side pretty soon. Blacksmiths, please leave this area. Let me put up this wall, barricade that. And let's see, we need to get a few more hunters out into our perimeter, so let's come over here really quickly. Thank you for that money. Thank you, sirs. Good job on your part. Come over here and set up a bunch of bows so we have a bunch more extra hunters. So we'll probably even set up 3. We have a bunch of extra people just wandering around right now, so it's not a bad idea to have an extra few bows just waiting in hand. That's really creepy right there. That wasn't there before. Now, I feel like we're getting closer to... Ooh. We're getting closer to our very first big wave. When the very first big wave hits, expect a lot of casualties. Well, not casualties, but expect a lot of rebuilding to happen. And it's not necessarily game over. You can't necessarily build yourself back up, but that's where the time investment comes into the game, where it's kind of like, well, you were doing so good, but now things happen. You kind of have to start all over again, in a sense. And not all over again, but you have to rebuild your defenses and also probably situate your people with more new classes and everything like that. So you're hunting over here. We are day 5 ready. We're actually doing really good for day 5. I have a bunch of money and we've expended quite well. You know what? We're going to wrap it up right here for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up. Leave a like to support. Does mean a lot. Stick around for the next episode and we'll see some of the things ahead of us. We're in day 5 already. I think day 6 is going to be a really terrible wave if I'm right here. But beyond day 10, things start getting a bit more tricky. Right now it's been kind of relatively calm, but don't expect it to last too long for a fact here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up. I will catch you next time.